again, Tiffany. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but at least keep my word. Well, I'm back in the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Tiffany. Oh, hold on. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it? What the fuck? Oh, come on! Like he deserves any slack! You already had to be dragged here by Monica! I don't know if you plan on just coming here and hanging out or what! But if you don't take it seriously, then you won't see the end of it! What is this? It looks like Monica's shit-talking Natsuki. Natsuki is something. Have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the classroom. Why is Monica in front of everything? I can't see. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature! Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. I'm sorry, Tiffany. We'll make sure to put your comfort first, okay? Yuri shoots Natsuki with a disappointed glance. Anyway, now that you're in the club and all, perhaps you might be interested in picking up a book to read. Well, I can't really say no either way. Like you said, I'm in the club now. So it only feels right for me to do something like that, if you ask. Wait, I didn't mean it like that. If you don't really want to, then forget I said anything, I guess. No, it's not that, Yuri. I want to try to be part of this club. Can I check my posture? So even if I don't read often, I'd be happy to pick up a book if you wanted me to. Are you sure? I feel like, well, as vice president and all, that I should help you get started on something you might like. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I don't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it if you wanted. This is... How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expect Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Yuri's face is already buried in a book.
Tiffany, you are
Pineapple, thank you for the 8 months! I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more, but at the same time, I'd feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Ah, crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me and her eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in the book. Sorry. I was just spacing out, I mutter this, sensing it made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed you in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious, how come you take 2 copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday... Oops. That's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them. I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's the story about? Well... Look at the cover of the book. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Basically, it's about the religious camp that was turned into a human experimental prison. Wow, Yuri! And the people trapped there have this trait that turns them into killing machines that lust for blood. The facility gets even worse, and they start selectively breeding people by cutting off their limbs and affixing them to... Oh, that might be a little bit of a spoiler. What? But anyway, I'm really into it. The book, I mean. Not the thing about the limbs. That's kind of... It's kind of dark, isn't it? Yeah. You made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so the dark turn came from nowhere. Oh my god, Insane! Every time! You get me every time! Are you not a fan of this sort of thing, Tiffany? No, it's not that. I mean, I could definitely enjoy those kind of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri's into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that this kind of story is the kind that challenges you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because somebody wants to be evil, but because the world is full of horrible people, and we're all worthless anyway. Oh. Okay, stretch break. Thank you for the stretch break. Then suddenly, I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, my whole body gets... What the fuck? I didn't push anything! kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. I'm worried, but you know, that just means you're passionate about reading, right? The least I can do is listening. It's a literature club after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it right. Yes. I mean, you don't have to, but... Oh, what are you saying? Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slipped this into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing, maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri's in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry. Ah! What the fuck? Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, and hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. Guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. The way I turn a page, and Yuri slides it under her thumb after I flip to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face, and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? To turn the page? Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I could do. Since you've been so patient with me. Yeah! Thanks! I'm creeped out! We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. Blech. We continue to the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side, she catches it under her own thumb. Hey, Yuri? This might be a silly thought, but The main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. No, I don't relate to this character at all. Definitely not. I'm gonna refuse. Really? I was just thinking the way she second guesses things she says and all that. That's what you were talking about. Sorry. I thought you meant something else about her. Something else? Never mind. I didn't even get that far yet. So I don't know why that came into my head. Are you feeling alright? Yuri's been a little fidgety ever since we started reading. You can rest if you're feeling sick or something. Your breathing is a little... Am I breathing? Yuri puts her hands on her chest as if to feel her heartbeat. I didn't even notice. Anyway, I'm fine. I just need some water. Alright, don't push yourself. Yuri stands up and practically rushes out of the classroom. What on earth was that about? Tiffany? Did something happen just now? I have no idea. Yuri was acting a little strange, I guess. So you don't know anything. Sorry, I can't say I do. Are you worried about her? Oh, no, not really. I was just making sure that you didn't do anything to her. No, nothing! Don't worry, I believe you, silly. Yuri just does this sometimes, so it's nothing alarming. Alright, if you say so. Anyway, why don't we start with sharing our poems with each other? Shouldn't we wait for Yuri? Well, she might be a while, so I just figured we'd start without her. Is that okay? Yeah, I was just asking. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then I slip it back into my bag. Who should I show my poem to first? Monica. Start with Monica. Yesterday she seemed eager to read my poem, and I want her to know if I'm putting in effort. Hi, Tiffany. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have a suggestion for the club, like new activities or things we could do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Tiffany. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's this sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. Great job, Tiffany. I was going, oh, in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, it always counts when I put in some effort. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that full of imagery and symbolism? Sometimes I feel like Yuri's mind is just totally detached from reality. I don't mean like it's a bad thing though, but something I get the impression that she's just totally given up on people. She spends so much time in her own head, it's probably a much more interesting place for her. But that's why she gets so happy when you treat her with a lot of kindness. I don't think she's used to being indulged like that. She must be really starved for social interaction, so don't blame her for coming on a little strongly. Like earlier, I think it's if she's too stimulated, she ends up withdrawing and looking for alone time. Suddenly the door opens. Yuri! I'm back. Did I miss anything? Not really. Well, we all started sharing your poems with each other. Already? I'm sorry for being late. No need to apologize. We still have plenty of time, so I'm more glad that you took all the time that you needed. Alright. Thanks, Monica. I suppose I should get my poem now. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims not to be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Was it the same one? Hole in the wall, but he wasn't looking at me. Confused, I frantically glanced at my surroundings, but my burned eyes can no longer see color. Are the others in the room? Are they talking? Or are they simply poems on flat sheets of paper? The sound of frantic scrawling playing tricks on my ears. The room begins to crinkle, closing in on me. The air I breathe dissipates before it reaches my lungs. I panic. There must be a way out. It's right there. He's right there. Swallowing my fears, I brandish my pen. So what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you'd like to call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. You're trying hard to make it perfect and you'll never make any progress. Blah, blah, blah. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and blah, 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 blah. I read this already. Thanks for listening. Who should I show my poem to next? Natsuki. Well, it's about time. What I expect from you, someone like you. It's a little blunt. Well, excuse me. It's not like I said it was bad. It just didn't evoke any emotions. So basically, it's not cute enough for your tastes? Do you want to get smacked? I'll pass. Sigh! Why they put that in quotations? Well, anyway, I guess I need to show you mine. Not that you'll like it. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try. That's about it. Yeah! I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everybody in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously. But it's the point of the poem for people to express themselves. Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yeah, exactly! I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem, seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into than realized. That's what it means to be. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor with the last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud then I don't take that away from her. Who should I show my poem to next? Yuri. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes light. Exceptional. What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri's first covers her mouth, but then it ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a deep breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly and looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trays off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her fingers along the words of the poem as if breaking it down more thoughtfully. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through with that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in the new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, as if it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased, though. Biased how? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri's apologizing to herself, to me, or Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Oh, please do. I'd love to share my thought process with it. Yuri smiles dreamily as if there is a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ghosts under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminated beneath the amber glow, bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining street light to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe. Calms breathing air of the present but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. I'm so sorry. I have such a terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. That's a relief. Also, I liked your poem. Even though it was short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short? I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you liked it. I'll be honest. This is our first time sharing. I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you in a ghost, Yuri? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Tiffany. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But I remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in the world. They usually do more than tell a simple story and paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem was only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon be left with nothing. There's a lot more soul in putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. Nothing really. Yours was impressive too, so... Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. Think so? Yeah, of course. Ah. You know? I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Tiffany. Ah. Me too. As is everyone. I glance around the room. It was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities, even if they're just being nice. There's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Monica is writing something in her notebook. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing! Natsuki dismissively returns a poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Ah, thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about feelings of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. Humph! If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Monica liked it, and Tiffany did too. So based on that, I'm gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all... Excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless, of course, I'll come across something particularly inspiring. Which I haven't yet. And Tiffany liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Here we go! Here we go! She's about to say something about her boobs! Oh! I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri! That's not what I... You're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Tiffany appreciates my advice more than he appreciates yours. Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do so overly cutesy. No! Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Tiffany started showing up! Natsuki! Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you! Taking out your own insecurities on others like that. Really act as young as you look, Natsuki. Me? Look who's talking, you want an edgy bitch? Sorry, that's my lifestyle. It's too much for someone of your mental age to comprehend. See? Just saying that proves my point! Most people learn to get over themselves after they graduate middle school, you know! If you want to prove anything, then stop harassing others with your sickening attitude. You think you can counterbalance your toxic personality just by dressing and acting cute? The only cute thing about you is how hard you try. Whoa! Be careful! You might cut yourself on your edge, Yuri! Oh, my bad! You already do, don't you? Did you just accuse me of cutting myself? What the fuck is wrong with your head? Yeah, go on! Let's see Tiffany hear everything you really think! I'm sure I'll be head over heels for you after this! Suddenly Yuri turns towards me, as if she just noticed I was standing there. Tiffany, she's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true! She started it! Look, what am I supposed to do? Insane. Hey Tiffany, why don't we step outside for a little bit, okay? Sorry about that. They really shouldn't have tried to get you involved. It's probably better for us to stay out of this. We'll go back inside once they're done yelling. Some president I am, right? I can't even confront my own club members properly. I just wish I was able to be a little more assertive next time. Oops. But I never have it in me to put my foot down against others. You understand, right? Anyway, if this makes you want to spend less time with others, then that's fine. I'd be happy to spend time with you instead. Why am I so spooked out by this game? This game is... Oh, I got creepy vibes all over. Suddenly, Natsuki runs out of the classroom. She quickly runs away. Oh dear. Well, it looks like they're done. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. Yuri is rocking back and forth in her desk with her palms on her forehead. Yuri? I didn't mean it. I believe you. I have no idea what Yuri might have said to Natsuki. Or did. Tiffany? Please don't hate me. Please? I'm not like this. There's something wrong with me today. It's fine, Yuri. We know you didn't mean it. Besides, I'm sure Natsuki will forget all about this by tomorrow. Hey, Posh Cat, thank you for the 11 months. Completely. Monica, what the fuck is wrong with you? Anyway, the meeting is over. You can go home now if you want. Yuri looks at me like she wants to say something, but she keeps glancing at Monica. You can go first, Monica. I'd like to stay a little bit longer. I'm the president, so I should be the last one out. I'll wait for you to be done. Well, I'm vice president, so please let me take that responsibility today. It kind of sounds like you don't want me around for something, Yuri. It's not that. It's not that. I didn't get much of a chance to discuss my book with Tiffany. It would just be embarrassing with you listening. I guess I don't really have a choice, do I? I'm sorry for causing trouble. I'm spooked! Hey, I'm Tiffany Tiefling. Like, follow, subscribe. If you'd like to see more of my content, check out the links below. Or they pass it as time for the club meeting already. I've gotten a little more comfortable over here over the past couple days.